Hi, everyone, and welcome to another section of Vision of a CEO. Like every Friday, we're here to speak about the different topics of what is entrepreneurship, advertising, and marketing topics. And of course, we all here to make sure that we have fun. That's the only way that we can do this. And as you know, I usually like to go live every Friday early in the morning, but like as always something happening. And because it's Friday, it can be a social thing that we can all have like a different ways how to approach this. And that's why we are going live at this time. So there's no excuse whatsoever. We always try to kind of like come in every Friday to give you the insights of everything that is happening around the world when it comes to everything, most likely. So that's why you are here to see me on Vision of a CEO. And thank you again for joining me. As previously, you probably have seen different ways of how to kind of learn what my expertise is when it comes to marketing and advertising, or when it comes to just entrepreneurship itself. Because as a small business owner, I'm going to speak from my own perspective. And I'm pretty sure that are so many of you out there can relate when it's, especially if you're a business owner, or if you're trying to, or if you getting the idea of becoming a business owner, is something that we can share. It's a moment that we can share. It's a pain in the ass, just to put it that way. But we still doing it for a reason, and we want to continue doing it for a reason. But it's always good to kind of like hear from another perspective the struggles, the obstacles, and all the stuff that we have to go through as business owners, especially small business owners, that we think we are business owners, that we know what we're doing. But the reality is that when it comes to entrepreneurship, there's no guide whatsoever that can give you what to do, what not to do, how to do it right. But what we can do is to learn from each other. What we can do is to share our thoughts and experiences. And what we can do is to help each other on the field that we are experts on. Like in my case, I'm an expert in advertising. I have experience in both ways of when it comes to marketing, in the production part of marketing, as well as like selling those products. And when it comes to sales experience, since I have experience selling these products and services to clients and to prospects to kind of like qualify, it can be a great asset also for you as a business owner that you need to learn when it comes to selling. Selling is one of the biggest assets out there for anyone who has a business or anyone who's looking to have a business, just because of the idea of learning yourself, learning how to sell yourself, but most importantly, to learn how to sell your services and your products. If you don't learn the activities of the skills of how to sell, then there's going to be a problem. But again, when it comes to it, we can create different ways to it. But today, we're not going to be focusing on what is sales. We're going to be focusing on what is happening around the world that we can use. Even though it could be a big company, it's going to be like a great example and a great storytelling, but we can use that as our own advantages. Like we can learn from big companies and kind of implement these strategies little by little into our own businesses. Today, we're going to be talking about the PR strategy that has the internet going crazy and speak about it. And there's so many memes and there's so many people giving their opinions. And obviously, I'm not going to stay behind. And I'm going to talk about what I feel that how it makes me feel, first of all, and also from a business perspective, from a professional business perspective in marketing. And let's just talk about Gwyneth Paltrow commercial from Astronomers. Yes, I know everyone is talking about it, but it's a great strategy. There's so many things behind it. But before, let's go back to basics to give you an idea why I would like to speak about this, first of all, and second of all, why everyone's talking about such an, great, an amazing strategy. First of all, as an advertising designer, my background comes that I am able to get on hands when it comes to the whole production of a commercial, and I mean in every single phase and every single aspect of advertising campaigns. So what that means is, as an advertising designer, I'm able to speak with graphic designers, with branding developers, with storytellers, with public relationship agents, with advertisement placements or media buying placements, or with a different kind of like components that it comes to what is to the behind the scenes and create everything that happens into a commercial, into an advertising campaign, everything all together. And because of that, actually that's what I went to school for. So that's why I'm an advertising designer. But it gives me the hands-on of like kind of be the director of creating the behind the scenes of any kind of advertising campaigns or marketing campaigns. With that being said, and now you know why I would like to speak about this is because it's like really impressive. And the second thing is obviously when it comes to like trending topics, you always wanted to give your opinion, but also you wanted to kind of like learn from what is happening with those big companies and bring it into your own business to implement what you have learned and make sure that when you learn something, you apply it into your business. Because again, that's what we're here for. We're not experts of doing everything, but I'm giving you my an advice from a professional expert in advertising design that this can be also implemented. But let's just dig into our subject today. We're gonna be talking about once again the astronomer strategy and PR because everything that was like done with beside behind the scenes for that particular campaign, what has to be doing with a PR company that is creating amazing strategies out there, is creating amazing work, and it has the entire public talking. But this is the reason why everyone is talking about it. As you recall, there was a concert for Coldplay. He's a famous band, and they had this kiss camera going around the public in the audience while they were in concerts. Same thing, the same methodology, like when you go to a baseball game or you go to any stadium or maybe like a basketball game that they have a kiss cam camera and it goes around and then it goes to you. You're like everyone's like saying hi or trying to kiss if they're with their boyfriend, girlfriends, or whatever the case is. But anything can really happen. No one can actually have control of the camera. So, and if it goes around, what you have to do is to kind of like embrace and go with it. But in the Coldplay concert, the camera caught a couple that were like cuddling together and enjoying the concert, but it turned out that it was the former CEO of Astronomer and the person in charge for HR of Astronomer having an affair with each other, not enjoying the concert as like partners or teammates, enjoying the concert as lovers. And as it turns out that they were like trying to hide themselves from the camera so no one can actually see them, that got even more attention to everyone to kind of find out who they are. And the idea that that happened at that moment when they were cheating on their wives. Just to give you a little background, both of them were married, but not with each other. And I'm pretty sure that those marriages are in jeopardy right now because nobody really knows what happened in there. But it happened. They were caught on camera. They were like getting out there, and obviously the former CEO of Astronomer, he stepped down from his position, and I believe she did as well. I'm not really 100% sure if she did, but I'm pretty sure that's the best thing to do, honestly. So that's exactly what they were doing, which is really amazing the way that people were like talking about it. So the internet went crazy just with that atmosphere, with that video of Coldplay and the kiss camera cutting two people from Astronomer, making sure having fun together and cheating with each other to their husband and wife, which it has the entire internet going crazy around. And I'm pretty sure that you know what I'm talking about because everyone, literally everyone, the entire internet is talking about it. However, but the brilliant thing is that Astronomer took that as like part of a strategy. Remember that there's a saying that people say there's no such thing as bad advertisement. Well, I am a true believer that when it comes to it, there's no such thing. The reason why there's no such thing as bad advertisement is because you have two options. Either complain about it because it was a bad advertisement or use it in your own advantage, enjoying the chaos and use it and turn it into a positive experience. So that's exactly what the Astronomer people did. They had, I don't know if they were working with their PR agents before or if they were something that happened in that moment. But the idea of hiring a PR agency or PR agents to help them out to kind of like get out there was actually genius. And of course, like there's like so many components into creating the right strategy, just because to make sure that you have to be really strategic when it comes to tell your story from your other side. Again, you have two options: either join them and create and turn it into a positive experience, or simply don't do anything about it and let everyone to get their own opinions and actually create and have their own opinions from themselves. Because in this incident, maybe the company didn't have anything to do with it, because again, the entire company didn't need to know everything that was happening, but at the same time, it affects the image of the company. So that's why stepping in and making sure that they take action into what was happening, it was genius. Not just to put them on the map, but also to clear up their image and make sure that they understand that they addressed the situation, confronting the public and making sure that they were talking about it in a funny way. It can be in an entertainment way, it can be in different ways. You know how those famous people, celebrities, usually when they are like in the middle of a scandal, they do a press release. So instead of doing a press release, they did an entire campaign that honestly, it has everyone talking about it and forgetting about the incident itself, but not necessarily um but not necessarily to create how you have, like, I lost my thoughts, not necessarily making movements so drastically, but use that entire movement to create momentum for themselves. That's what it was. So they decided to hire Gwyneth Paltrow, who everyone knows who she is. She's a really famous actress. She has been in so many movies out there, and one of the ones that I'm pretty sure everyone knows which movie I'm talking about is the Avengers um, whole strategy, which makes people the Avengers movie is a whole series of movies, and she has been portrayed the wife of this amazing character in the Avengers, which is Iron Man, right? So she's his partner, and everyone knows that Gwyneth plays an important role in the entire franchise of Avengers. So, but not just that, not just because she's an amazing public image and an amazing actress, and everyone knows who she is. She's also the ex-wife of the Coldplay main one of the participants of the whole band, of the band leader, and that makes it even more interesting because in some way she's kind of like directly related to Coldplay, but at the same time not really related to anything that has to do with astronomer. But she was hired as the spokesperson for that advertising campaign that has the public even talking more just because of that relationship. She's the ex-wife of the Coldplay asset, right? Just to put it that way. She's the ex-wife of this person, someone that everyone knows a lot because of Coldplay, and especially everything that I was talking about in the whole Coldplay concert because of the kiss camera that we were talking about. But at the same time, it creates, because they're not together, if you think about it, it's a storytelling, they're not together, and people can like create their own assumptions. Some people in the internet are saying that she did it for free, that she was so happy about it to do it. Or maybe they have a great relationship because they have kids, they worked together for a while, it didn't work out, whatever reason it didn't work out, they separated. She has a partner, he has a partner too. So there's nothing related to the astronomer CEO or the astronomer lady that she was in charge of HR. It has more than that. It has, just because everything is like kind of being collated in a way, and they're using that storytelling to tell their own story and to talk about astronomer services and products itself. And using the main questions that people are asking about the astronomer CEO and that relationship, that they were cheating with each other, instead of addressing those questions directly, they kind of pivoted into creating a dynamic, entertained, and really funny story to tell the public who they are and why they're here. It's like, I'm pretty sure that, and she like literally says in the commercial that she was hired as a spokesperson like for a limited time, just to address the situation that everyone's talking about. And everyone really for a second thought that she was going to address the situation of the former CEO and address the situation of what was happening around the internet. But instead, they pivoted and it kind of created that entire atmosphere and made sure that everyone's like talking about that commercial. To me, that was a strategic move because you're using a really well spoke person related to everything that is happening. You kind of like pivoted the entire strategy and made it into a positive experience for your own company. And now everyone is talking about astronomer. Now everyone knows who astronomer is, because let's face it, maybe before we didn't know who they were, but now we do. Now they have to use that as the biggest advantage ever, because they getting the awareness that they're looking for. You see where I'm coming with this? Like they doing the whole storytelling. They created that awareness and put themselves into the map. It's a magic history that everyone is going to remember by. It's like an amazing story and everyone is talking about it. And that's exactly what you need to implement into your business. You need to create a momentum that when people are talking about it, either in a good way or in a bad way, they talking about you. So that's why being so different and create this kind of like out of the box ideas and implement it into your business, it could be great. And obviously, we have to give recognition to the PR agency that was behind the scenes and doing it all, which is another component that we can never compare to this. But the company that was working behind the scenes, guess who's the owner? It's Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds, that everyone knows that he's a famous actor. He's a businessman, and he's also related to the whole franchise kind of thing, because he plays the role of like Deadpool, which has nothing to do with the Avengers or that franchise itself. However, it does address the situation that he wanted to be a superhero, he was not accepted, and it makes the whole situation even better. So obviously we cannot compare to that kind of PR strategy that they use, but what we can do, because obviously, like the high level, who the person has, obviously he has connections with Gwyneth. He literally probably made a call. Hey, Gwyneth, I had this idea. I mean, the idea was genius. Whoever came up with the idea was amazing. And kudos to Ryan Reynolds, kudos to Gwyneth for accepting it, kudos to Astronomer for saying yes to the crazy idea that Ryan Reynolds had and to put them into the map. That's what it was. So now that they have created a brand awareness, we also have to be realistic that we as small businesses owners cannot really compare. We are not Ryan Reynolds. We don't have his network. But this is exactly where I'm going with this. As a small business owner myself, I have encountered different situations and I have encountered different people in my life that they either can come in a positive or in a negative way in my life. However, every single person that I encounter, every situation and experience that I kind of like get myself across, I try to pivot it in a positive experience, either by there's one thing that I've learned, that your network is your net worth, and which is true. That's exactly what Ryan Reynolds did. He has an amazing network. So he used that in his own advantage. But what tells us as business owners, even though if we're small business owners, what does that tell us? It tells us that we need to go out there, that we need to show up, go to networking events, because you don't know, you never know who can be out there and help you out. You never know who you can ever use for your own advantage or a collaboration or do business with, or simply to know that person, that make connections. That's the key to everything. And just to put it in a perspective from my own experiences doing I was gonna say PR, but from my own experiences doing networking events for and participating into networking events and organizations that does a lot of networking events. From my own perspective, I've encountered people that I never thought in my entire life that I was going to have their contact information, or that I was going to do any kind of collaborations, or that can actually became friends that I can just pick up my phone really quick and be like, hey, I just want to let you know that if you can help me out with this, or if we can do a collaboration, whatever the case, or they just invite me to different events. I mean, again, the list goes on and on and on. And I would really want to give you guys the put you in your mindsets that you should be working on getting your name out there and create the network that you deserve and expand your network. Increase the amount of connections that you have, because it's so important, because you never know how you can use a person to help you out, either with your PR strategy, either to get your name out there, to create that awareness that you're looking for your brand, and to make sure that you get your services even further that you may think you have in your business to grow in different kind of ways. I have the opportunity to know a lot of famous people in different industries, just to put it that way, like high-end CEOs. I mean, my first biggest client, or what I want to say, my first biggest meeting that I ever made when I was started doing sales, and to kind of like learn the sales strategy and skills that we were talking about at the beginning of this video, was with ESPN Deportes. And I was like, no one. I think I am still no one comparing to these big companies, and comparing to these big CEOs, and comparing to these big celebrities that I have encountered throughout the years. But one thing I'm going to tell you, and this is going to be the coffee moment of the day. As you know, every Friday when we go live on Vision of a CEO, we have a coffee moment with Jen. So, coffee with Jen moment right now is that none of this, all the people that I know and everything, where I came from and where I am today, nothing happened overnight. On the contrary, it has taken me years of getting where I am, but I always show up with a pretty face and a smile on my face, and just like, and one thing, I'm always myself. I never change who I am and the person that I am and my personality. And maybe that's what people like, because I'm really honest and genuine. But it's the same thing for you. Show up, be you, network around, increase those connections, because again, your network is your net worth. Coffee with Jen moments right now. Mm. It's simply the best thing ever when it comes to creating these moments all together. And I really hope you did take a moment to kind of like sink in what I just tell you, this story, how you can use in your own advantage. Because even though you're a small business owner, or you're trying to be a small business owner, your name can get out there, and you can create momentum just by making those experiences to be pivoted, and by making sure that those experiences brings you joy, and you can tell your story instead of letting anyone else tell the story they want to kind of like think, or whatever they wanted to think about you. You are the one on charge of telling your story. You are the one on charge making sure that all of this is happening, and that your story is told how you want it to be told. And this is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and whoever is like around here, always like watching me and supporting me on everything that I do. Thank you so much. Thank you again for tuning in a Vision of a CEO. And I really hope I can see you next Friday around here. Remember, we always go live in every single platform. We have TikTok right here in the camera, and in this camera we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, we have YouTube. And if you don't know the YouTube channel of my and obviously Facebook, of course, if you don't have the YouTube channel yet, just please go and subscribe and follow me on social media. You can find me as Jennifer Firpo with double N and double F. Yes, Jennifer with double N and double F. And my last name Firpo, so it's just Jennifer Firpo. And if you're gonna subscribe to my channel, go to Vision of a CEO on YouTube and tune in, subscribe, and share with everyone so they can find me. And we can continue to work together on everything that we do. So thank you guys for everything. Have an amazing weekend and happy Friday. Enjoy your summer, because I know that I will. Bye, guys. Bye bye.